What's up, everybody? Ty Bartell in with another edition of Player Profile. This time we head to my friends over in the Austintown community, home of the Falcons. One of the seniors on the boys basketball team, Marcel Finkley, joining me today. So, what's up, my man?
How you doing, sir? I see you, Ty.
Not doing too bad. Nice seeing you as well. And it's been a great honor to cover your career over the last 4 years at Austintown Fitch and the things you've been able to accomplish. I want to just start with your latest accomplishment,
Mhm.
scoring 1,000 points. You're just the fourth player in Austintown Fitch history, also
Yeah.
the first Black player ever in
Mhm.
basketball history to do that. What kind of honor does that mean to you to be able to represent the community, but also represent your family too in that way?
Man, it means a lot. Like, man, that's been my goal since I can remember middle school, elementary school, just scoring 1,000 points. And also it's Black History Month, so it is all this adds up well. It's just an honor to represent, my family, and I'm very blessed. Very thankful for everything, for being able to play the game and just play at this high level. Man, I'm very blessed. I don't take it for granted.
When you talk about that goal, when did it start becoming a realistic goal in your mind, saying like I can actually achieve this and this is attainable?
After my sophomore year, because my freshman year I played varsity, but I was really just a defensive guy. Sophomore year, I averaged I think 12 points, and I was like, and I did the math, because I did the math, and I was like, if I just average 15 the next 2 years, I can easily do it, and I ended up happening. So after my sophomore year is when I realized I can reach 1,000.
I love your work ethic, man. I think you've put in a tremendous amount. I know you've put in a tremendous
Hmm.
amount of work in your craft and just improving year in and year out. And we've been able to see that improvement. You've been on that steady climb upwards too. Talk to
Yeah.
me about the work that went into your improvement over the years. What are the things that you focused on? What were the things that you look to get better in, and how have you seen improvement in those areas?
Oh, I'll just break it down. I'll break everything down for you. So, in this, my off seasons are very, very intense. Like very intense. I work out twice a day in the off season, once in the morning, once at night, and then sometimes I might do runs as well. So after my freshman year, I know I need to work on my jump shot and this my mid range game. So my sophomore year, I don't know if you noticed, I started a lot of mid range jump shots. That was my main shot my sophomore year. Like I made a couple threes here and there, but that wasn't really my game. Junior year, that's when I really turned into a 3 level scorer. So after my sophomore season, I realized I needed to become a 3 point shooter. And in the off season, I just worked on 3 point shooting a lot. And senior year, I just tried to put it all together. When it comes to layups, finishing, mid range, and three. So just working on my game and being consistent. That's really, really it. Is being consistent. And even the days I don't want to go do it, I know I have a bigger goal for myself, so I just push myself and go do it.
That's what I was going to ask you about next, man. I mean, discipline is what you're going to need to be able to keep up with a regimen like that.
Hmm.
Man, how do you do it when you have those days that you inevitably are like, man, I don't want to go to the second workout of the day,
Yeah.
or I don't want to be putting this time in the gym today. How do you fight
Hmm.
through it? How do you stay disciplined?
Because we're from a small town, Youngstown, Ohio. Not a lot of basketball players come out of this, town and get scholarships and stuff like that. And that was my main goal before I start playing basketball. I wanted to get a scholarship, so I realized I have to do extra things. Maybe if I don't feel like doing that, maybe a kid from Columbus or a bigger city, maybe that I have to do, could have a bigger market. So just pushing myself and realizing what my goals are, and then obviously, my mom and like my parents and my teammates, like I do get pushed. It's not just all me. They do push me to be great. So yeah.
No, I love that, man, too. And I love that mentality. Hey, if I'm not putting in the extra time, there's always
Hmm.
someone else out there that will be. So you got to stay ahead of the game, and you absolutely have. When did this journey start for you? When did you first remember having a basketball in your hands? When did the love for the game start?
In third grade. Third grade is when I started playing organized basketball. I was a baseball player. It's funny. I was actually a baseball player coming up. In third grade, I started playing organized basketball for the Little Falcons, and I've been with the Little Falcons ever since. And that's when I really, in the sixth grade, and I was still playing football at the time. I was playing football until seventh grade. And after seventh grade, that's when I realized I really wanted to take basketball serious. And that's why I just fell in love with the game and watched so much film and just, worked on my game a lot.
What would be some advice you would give to some of those younger players too that are coming up too? Because I know a lot of players make that kind of decision
Hmm.
right around middle school, like you
Yeah.
did too. Some of those middle school names too, and some of those middle school players, if they want to see the success you've seen, maybe they want to add their name, be the fifth 1,000 point scorer in Fitch history. What's some advice you'd give to them?
Oh, you just gotta stay composed. It's a lot of ups and downs. Like my journey from freshman year to now has been ups and downs, and the downs are low. But you just gotta realize. You just got to keep going. Not everything you want in life is not going to come easy. No, you're going to go through the adversity. This is how you respond to it, and just be a sponge. Also, never think you're too good to get advice from anybody. You can always learn from anybody, and that's why I'm really big on that. Somebody trying to give me advice, I always try to listen and try to apply it to myself. I feel like it can help me. So just be a sponge, and it's when you're going through adversity, to try to to keep going.
I love the way that you represent the community too. I think you always do at one of the highest standards. And senior year, I mean, you had to take on that leadership role. I know you kind of did a little bit more junior year too, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was really all out now this year. What was that like for you to kind of step into that leadership role? Did it feel comfortable, or were you kind of fish out of water at first with it?
It definitely was different. This guy. I mean, this year, me and Carter were the only, in EJ a little bit, but we were the only like two varsity players from last year. So we had a lot of new guys playing this year that didn't play varsity before. So it was definitely a lot of ups and downs. But I love the way the guys, we try to come together. But it was definitely a little difficult. But that's like I said, diversity. So just overcoming that. I really like being a leader though. Ever since I was younger, so I like being a leader though.
What would you say the biggest thing you've learned about being a leader in your senior year has been?
You gotta learn the personnel that's around you. Like some teammates are not gonna. No, you just gotta learn. You gotta know who you're playing with. Like you can't say certain things to some teammates. You gotta go about. You gotta take a different angle with some teammates. Some teammates might not like to get yelled at. Some teammates you might just have to talk to. So just learning who you're playing with and just know the personnel.
I know we've been talking a lot about where your growth has happened on the court too, and in your game. But I'm curious, where do you feel like you've grown a lot as a person too from freshman year to now?
This maturity. I'm off the court. On the court I'm very serious, but off the court, I'm a goofy guy. So my freshman year, it was a couple of times, I'll probably get in trouble at practice for just goofing off too much. But I just realized there's a time and a place for that. So, like I said, I am a funny guy, I think. So, just realizing there's a time and place for everything.
When you talk about that too, and finding that too, what was the biggest, I guess, step for you to try to find that maturity? When did that kind of realization happen too? When did that jump happen for you?
After my freshman year, we always have an exit meeting. And going into my sophomore year, the coach was just really big on me. They knew I worked on my game, and knew my skill set was there. But it was just a mental part of my game that they're kind of iffy about. When it comes to so just working on that. That's what I really realized my sophomore year, after this lock in when it comes to this.
How was that for you too, being able to take criticisms like that, being able to kind of critique
Mhm.
yourself too? I know it's kind of essential to getting better too. How was that for you being a freshman too, and developing that throughout your high school career?
It was it was good because it taught me a lot about not only basketball but just life. Like you got to be able to take criticism. Now I'm not saying it's easy because sometimes it can be hard. When it feel like somebody's agging on you, but I feel like at the end of the day you got to realize they probably just want the best for you. You got to take it in. You got to listen to the message and not how they're saying, and that's the tone. Because sometimes I know like when I used to get yelled at, I would just hear the yelling, but I wouldn't hear the message. So just hearing the message and just taking it all in, like I said, being a sponge, it's going to get you farther for
I
sure.
love it, man. I love it. When we talk about some of your favorite moments in Falcon basketball
Yeah.
that you've gotten to participate in, what are some that immediately come to mind for you?
I'll name a couple. So my freshman year, Allen Underwood, he had a game winner at camp. It was their senior night. Man, that was absolutely insane. Even though I was on the bench, that was absolutely insane. Like that was just that environment. I looked up to Allen my freshman year. He was a senior I really looked up to. So that, I would say, beating Walsh last year in the playoffs, I had a really good game. That was a really hot moment. Even though we lost this year, but playing Canfield at Fitch, that environment was just crazy. Hitting the half court to send it to double overtime. This is some of my favorite moments. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, you've had a lot of those against Canfield too. It feels
Yeah.
like every time you guys link up too, there's always magic that's being made
Mhm.
on the court, especially from your end too. Man, when we talk about just your career in high school, it has been so fun, and I always knew you had the talent and
Mhm.
the potential to be a next level athlete. And when you finally made that announcement, made that selection too,
Yeah.
I was so proud and so excited to
Thank
see
you,
what you
Ty.
were able to do. When we talk about that too, get first and foremost, formally announce where you're going to be attending college
Mhm.
after high school too, for all those that didn't hear too, and what
Okay.
went into that selection process.
So I will be attending the University of Pitt, Johnstown. It is a D2 out of Johnstown, PA. And the process was just really amazing. Like the coaches at Pitt Johnstown, they told me, I actually just got off the phone with the coach from Pitt Johnstown not that long ago before we got on this call, but they just show me a lot of love. And when I went on my visit up there, it just felt like a home, and I feel like I can go there and enjoy myself, academically and obviously athletically.
When you talk about looking for a college that feels like a good fit for you, what were some of the things you were looking for? What were some of the things you were taking priority in?
Or so obviously I want to play, and nothing's guaranteed in college, but both the point guards graduate this year, so I feel like with a good off season, another good off season, a lot of 2 days, a lot of weightlifting, I feel I have a good chance to go there and start, if not play a lot as a freshman, which is really hard to do in a Division II level, and this college in general. So.
You talked about the academic side too as something that intrigues you. And of course, being a student athlete in today's world is never easy. I feel like people don't realize the amount of off-court practice that
Yeah.
you guys have to do now. It's changed drastically, and it
Mhm.
continues to change drastically. What is that like, though, balancing that time between being a student and an athlete in high school?
This time management, you got to just think ahead. You can't just wait till the last minute to do things. Like if you have a test, you got to maybe study before or after practice. And it comes to like even the sacrifice. Even when you're tired, you got a big test, something you got to study or do your homework because, like you said, you can't do anything, no matter how good you are on a football field, basketball court. You got to have the academics, or it don't matter.
When you talk about the academic side, Fitch obviously known for having some really good teachers too, and really good
Yes.
academic minds that could touch the mind and soul of students. When you talk about some of your favorite personal teachers at Fitch too, who are some that come to mind for you?
Man, I just want to say this before I feel I'm going to leave some people out, but I truly love Fitch. Like Fitch as a school is just amazing. I love all the teachers, all the principals, the counselors. They all show me a lot of love. But Coach Sternberg, he was actually a coach on our basketball team my sophomore year, and then Miss McConaughey, Miss Carroll, Miss Buzico, Miss Owens. I can go on and on. Actually, it's crazy. Last night I was going through my email, and my fifth grade teacher emailed me before the game on Friday, and was like, just congratulations on scoring 1,000 points, and that's just stuff like that. Like they just showed me a lot of love and support. Like my fifth grade teacher took time out of her day to email me to congratulate me. So I really appreciate all the teachers and everybody from Fitch. Like I really do.
I mean, you shouted out some great ones too. I know Miss Bustico, I know Miss Carroll
Yeah.
too, and those are some great selections too. Legends over there at Fitch, no doubt. Some of the best teachers I think in the area as well. When you talk about though, you as a student athlete and with Fitch, and I know you've given a ton of love to Fitch and a ton of love to the teacher side thing, but also I know you're a family man and you come from a lot of family support. I know your family's always there representing her on socials. They're representing you too.
Yeah.
What has that been like for you from, I'm sure, a young age, just having that family support and having that love from home?
It means a lot. I don't take it for granted. Like I love my family so much. Like they've been supporting me ever since I've been starting. Like my grandma, my auntie, my mom, they always told me I was always gonna be a superstar since I can remember. And they've been through the ups and downs. I mean, always just like I said, just tell me to keep going, do diversity. They believe in me and they make me believe in myself even more. So I just want to say I love them. I appreciate them more than anything than I ever know.
When you talk about some of your goals now going forward, I know we're getting into tournament time right around the corner. I think one more regular season game for you guys at the point of this interview. What are some of your goals to kind of end high school with too? And what are some of your goals post high school after you throw the cap after you throw the cap?
Yes, sir. So my goals for the rest of the season is honestly just go out there and just play as hard as we can. We got two more guaranteed games. We got Warranty Hard on Thursday. They're a really good, talented team. Some people probably say the best team in the area. And then we got Brecksville, Broswell Heights. First tournament game. They're actually really good. So just going there and competing and just going out, like we have nothing to lose and going out and playing hard. And then after the season, like one of my goals is to start as a freshman next year at Pitt Johnstown. But I know it's not going to be easy, but I feel like I can honestly do it. And it's like, and then you just never know with the transfer portal, and you just never know. Like my goal is just to play college basketball, so as long as I can is get a free education.
And that's a huge one to accomplish too. But I know you have the dedication and you have the mindset to be able to do it, and you also have the skill that's continuing to see that steady incline. Marcel, I also want to give you just the opportunity as a whole too to just kind of give a shout out, give some love to anybody that you feel deserves a little bit of spotlight and a little bit of a show.
Oh, I just want to give a shout out to my trainer. I don't do this alone. My trainer, Javon Snipes. Man, he been training me since 7th grade, and he really helped me develop to the player I am today. I just want to shout out to him. I want to shout out my parents, my little brother, all my coaches from Fitch for giving me a chance as a freshman, to play varsity, and then now believing in me as a senior, allowing me to lead the team as a senior captain. I want to give a shout out to all my teammates from over the 4 years, from freshman year. Matter of fact, from when I started playing basketball to now, I appreciate all you guys and all my friends for supporting me and the whole Austintown community. I just really appreciate everybody. And I want to give a shout out to you, Ty, for supporting me since my freshman year. I remember, you always been there since freshman year, talking to me after the games, interviewing me after the games. So you were actually the first person to ever interview me after it was my sophomore year. I forgot what we played. But, I just appreciate you for always showing me love and supporting me.
Absolutely, man. And I've been a big fan of yours ever since day one, and I'll be a big fan of yours too once we get into the collegiate level. As we talk about one of the best players in Fitch history now, 4,000-point scorers all time. He's one of them. Marcel Finkley, player profile, first edition of it here on YSN.